behind this. This is a song that I wrote with my good friend Bernie Nelson. He was writing for a publisher in Nashville, and so was I. We wrote this song, and we really thought it was a good song. We really liked it. And we both took it to our publishers, and neither one of them liked it. And we said, well, how about you just okay the demo? Just give us the okay to go into the studio and do a demo. No, just don't hear it. Just don't hear it. And so Bernie went into a 4-track, did a guitar vocal of it. We gave them each publisher a copy of it, and it sat on a shelf. And every few months, he'd talk to his song plugger, I'd talk to mine. You think maybe you want to pitch that song? Just don't hear it, Lisa. Sorry, just don't hear it. And although I know he wanted to, but I just don't hear it. So, this is how things happen sometimes when you think there's no way something is going to happen. One day, Bernie's song plugger set up an appointment with Randy Travis to pitch him songs. She wrote down the songs that she wanted on the tape. This was back when they made cassette tapes. And she gave the list to the man in the tape copy office to put on a tape for her to play. Well, he got one of the songs on the list mixed up with our song because it had a couple of the same words on it, and he ended up putting our song on the tape by mistake instead of the other one. So she's playing these songs for Randy Travis, and the intro to ours starts playing, and she reaches over and turns it off and says, "That's not the song I want to play you." And he goes, "Well, play it for me anyway." Amen. And so she plays it, and he says, "Put that song on hold for me." So it ended up, not only did Randy Travis record it, but here's something that I would have never even dreamed possible. It was a duet with Chris Christopherson on his Heroes and Friends album. So I just want you to keep in mind, even though it may not appear that you got somebody on your side, even though you may not hear yes from the person you want to hear yes from, even though you might have a discouraging day in there, just remember there's a reason that your heart and your spirit is moving you to write songs. There's a big reason. And so whatever that purpose is, whatever it is, take inspiration and encouragement from all of these kinds of things that do happen, even at the moment we least expect it. And I'm not done, am I?
Did you want the music?
No, that's it. Oh, one more story. I think these are important. I could just give you an example. There was a huge, huge hit song that came out of Nashville. It was not only a hit country song, it was a hit all over the world in every genre. It was called Mr. Bojangles. Anybody know that song? Yeah. Okay, so you know what a huge hit that was. You still hear it. Well, when Jerry Jeff Walker went in to play it for a publisher, he said, "Just don't hear it. Just don't hear it." And he passed on it. Well, for years later, after it becomes this gigantic hit, you know, what can you do? Nobody's right all the time. Everybody makes mistakes. Or it just didn't strike him at the time. But I always heard that anytime you wanted to get this guy while he was playing golf, just wait till he started to putt and start whistling Mr. Bojangles. One of the most exciting things that happened in my songwriting career was, I want to make sure we got this on. Was when I found out that Reba McEntire was going to open one of her shows, open her tour with one of my songs. And actually it ended up being 2 songs. The first 2 songs on her show were songs of mine. And these were songs that when we wrote these, they said, "Oh, they're way too pop. way too pop. Never going to get cut in country music. Which reminds me of another thing I wanted to say about the songs today. I'm telling you, I really feel like it's more important that I tell you these things than, you can hear my songs on YouTube, their videos and all. But one of the things that I thought was so cool about today were all the genres that we heard. So the variety and the voices, the interesting and wonderful voices that we heard today. And that's the great thing too about Nashville, LA, New York. Of course, we're all closer to Nashville being in Florida. But Nashville's not just a country town anymore, and country music isn't just country anymore. So there are all kinds of opportunities for alternative pop, for alternative singers. My mentor that I was telling you about, Debbie Hupp, the night she won a Grammy for You Decorated My Life, she was still working as the night watchman at Seagram's Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. She lived in Louisville. She had 5 children and a husband. It wasn't like she had the perfect opportunity in Nashville. She wasn't living there. She had other responsibilities. She was still working a day job. So I'm telling you this just to say, don't let your life get in the way. You can do both. It's possible. So many people. Christy Jackson sent a song in the mail to Reba one time. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. It ended up being a #1 record, and it came in the mail. Now these days you probably aren't going to get as much luck sending something in the mail, but thank goodness you have organizations like NSAI and Song U, where you have opportunities to pitch your songs to publishers, to artists, to people that can help you get your songs recorded. So this is another song that Reba did that when we wrote this song, I wrote it with 2 friends of mine, Biff Fink and Ira Rogers. And when we wrote this song, we really liked it. It was personal to some of us. And again, we'd hear, that song's not going to get cut, it's too sad. We want songs that are up-tempo positive. We don't want sad songs. Well, that's not true either, because 2 years in a row, the CMA Song of the Year was He Stopped Loving Her Today. And that may be that is one of the greatest, it may be the greatest country song ever written. So anyway, don't ever let any of these, that won't work, or that's not going to happen, or that's to this, or that's to that. Just remember, follow your heart. Let your heart move you. Let the part of you that wants to be the singer and the songwriter, let that mention too. After Reba recorded that, and it was on her CD called For My Broken Heart, I got more mail writing me. Usually they write the artists, but writing to the writers, I got more mail about that song than any other song that I've ever written. And it wasn't a single, it was on the album. But it really meant something to me that it touched people, that they wanted to take the time to write. People who worked in nursing homes wrote to me. Young people wrote to me who said they were going to start visiting their grandparents more. You just never know how you touch people with your music, and lots of times we'll probably never know. But it's very, very special. About work tapes, about songs that you submit, either to publishers or to Song U for critique, evaluation. That reminds me too. Please take advantage of the fact that I'm going to do an evaluation as part of your gifts today for even entering. I will do a complete evaluation just like I do for the members at Song U. In writing, I'll be sending it back to you, letting you know what I feel is the strongest points of your song, what you might want to think about, maybe making some suggestions. Trust me, I'm not trying to tell you how to write your song or what you should do. I'm not doing that at all. I'm making suggestions for exploring, for you to explore, just based on my experience and based on my pitching songs and what I've learned through the years. So I encourage you to take advantage of the evaluation, and it's just like what you'll get on Song U. You can get evaluations in writing. You can get private sessions with coaches. You can, there's several different ways that you can get critiques and evaluations through Song U. NSAI the same way. You can get evaluations through NSAI.